I noticed. I watched the analytics on this post. I laugh a lot of times. Well, this time it shot way up on the Rapture, and through it, there's a lot of new subscribers who have felt a connection with this witness. And I would suggest, and even for brothers and sisters, I watch a lot of my older ones. It's just like on the road. I witness to people. I tell them, this witness I'm giving to you, it's for me. You're just chosen to listen to it. I mean, I'll listen to it because these are the things the Father's revealing in me. And when I hear it, and it's the bell, it's a reminder, it's a deepening in me. Just like when I hear it through my brothers and sisters or from anybody, in this world. I meet a drunk on the streets, it doesn't matter. When the Lord's coming through, He's coming through. And but this is my life's work. This is my life's work. Everything I'm witnessing. And this is all Him. Him giving this to me. It's not about me. It's about what He gave me to share, to multiply. And I remember Amen telling me one time, when he revelated his original walk, that Lucifer came to him and told him to hold it for himself. He'd have power. That's what Lucifer came to him and told him. And he looked at him and said, no way, man. This is to multiply. This is, it wasn't even in him to think that way. It didn't have any power over him to suggest that. But he related it. It came at him. Of course, if you're in the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of the truth, the truth is misused in spirit to manipulate people, to self-glorify. But the real spirit of the truth is not that way. That's all corrupted. That's using true things and corrupting them. But when it's given in truth of spirit, you just want to see it multiplied. Because that's your prayer, to have everybody risen up in Him and to have brothers and sisters that are in union with Him, because that's union with your heart and with your understanding that He's given you. So I'm going to, as much as I can, forward, do, I'm calling them interviews, with brothers and sisters who are still here physically, who have been, a history with Amen. And all the different reflections are beautiful. I have one now of Micheal, who was there at the beginning. I'm going to show that one. And Micheal doesn't live directly with us physically right now. He's in New Mexico, but he was visiting. And then, we've had a lot of brothers and sisters blink out, pass on. And so I would like to have a record and all the different expressions, which is all part of what Amen is. And I believe we're, the body that He brought around Him, we represented all the messed up spaces in the world. And He uses us as microphones. And we're talking in the invisible here. Visible, invisible, but the invisible is where everything is really happening. And so as we're being cleaned up, it's like there's a whole congregation behind me, for example. I come from a certain background. I have certain principalities I was born into. And as I overcome those, it's going out to all the people who have a yearning for the Father. It strengthens them. It confirms that in Him. In the air. I meet Him on the outside too. And then there's the place where we all come together, which is the universal. But in the body, looking around and seeing that in each other. Some of the brothers and sisters who, carried a lot of weight to overcome what they were born into, and others of us lighter, easier. But all these representations, there's some brothers and sisters who, Amen, brought close to Him that didn't seem very close. And it was an expression of the grace that is extended in this world. Mostly, the brothers and sisters are basically the same. I mean, we all have very full hearts to want to be with our Father and clean up this earth, be used as vehicles, because we already have salvation. It's not a question like we're striving to be saved. We're striving to overcome the things of this world because of our love for our Father and our love for His creation. That's our inspiration, and that's where we come together. And then you start realizing that all these missing cards, you could say, things that you don't understand in yourself, unconsciousness that you still have, that's the work. Getting down with that. And the Father progressively revealing, and then you exercising the overcoming, and of course Him giving you the power. And so we all have witnesses. And I love hearing, when brothers are in the Spirit and their particular instrument, it's like an orchestra. Amen called it an orchestra. And that instrument playing, it's beautiful when you see it as a body. And we're just reflections of a much bigger picture. See, we're not of this thing where we're so much heavier than everybody else. I mean, there's people out there who, if we're really looking at things real, that we should be humbled to. I'm talking brothers and sisters who know amen. But we have been incredibly blessed with miracles and understandings that are rare in this world. And that was all about us being able to proclaim amen and the things that He gave. It's not about how high and righteous we are. It never has been. But it's about the true Spirit that He's revealing in us and that He came down here to do. So the history of the Christ family, this is all in the wind. I mean, people look at us like, this group, like they would look at groups in the world. But we're not like that. We really aren't. I mean, amen. People think that He would control us, and the absolute opposite. Absolute. And the way the Christ family came into being. Amen just watched it happen. He did His thing and lived in the moment, and He just watched it happen. Of course, He came to a place where He knew it was happening. And He told me, He started out just like any man would. He started out with hope. And then it turned into faith. And then it turned into absolute belief, knowing that it was real. And, I'm going to give the witness of Micheal. He was there very, very beginning, early part. He's actually got the earliest witness other than Cher. And I'd love to do Cher, who traveled with Amen in the very beginning. Cher's still with us. She knows I want to do this. She doesn't have a lot of memory. She's got some age to her, but her spirit is so beautiful. I would really want to share with everybody in His will. But it doesn't really matter. Whatever the Father gives here, just like everything else, we're living in the wind. We're living in the flow of God. And the Christ family formed that way. And we all lived in the wind. Nobody was telling anybody where to go. Amen would put out messages as he would see things unfolding and see things that were getting off track. He would put out messages. And they would go out in the grapevine. And then we would meet each other in different places in the wind. Undeniable hand of the Father. And we did have the one camp at the desert for years, and then different times different houses would open up and brothers would be just led together, a lot of times around Amen in New York City and in Santa Barbara and different places. But they were, it was totally magical miracle ride how we would meet in the wind. And according to His will for each individual. So we all have unique stories. One of the common denominators in the Christ family which is what Amen gave the name for us, and we were all last name Christ. We gave up our earthly identity. We didn't carry any ID, and for years we didn't. And we have a common experience that we were called in a miraculous way. We couldn't deny it. And for some of us, it was so powerful, like myself. I mean, even in the very beginning when I looked for some way out, there wasn't any way out to be true to myself. And all of us who have been solidly connected to Amen all these years, that's a common experience. And we've all been free to go, even chased out to go and check out anything else we wanted. I mean, chased out by Amen. You know, tricked into, you got a desire other than this? Go do it. Fulfill it. You know, he would not control us. And never by fear. Not the kind of fear to manipulate people, ever. No. Opposite. Total liberation. Total freedom. He doesn't want our offerings if they're not given in the fullness of our heart, because then it's a lie. And everything I'm relating, anybody who's walking in the Spirit, this is the truth of the Spirit. And I experienced it in His name, Amen. And I still do, more and more every day. I mean, talk about freedom. Oh my goodness. I was here with Amen in the yard. He called me in, excuse me, when he established the space. I got to drink something here. My first recording didn't come out, and it's always hard to do a second one. I was here in the yard, very stretched, because it was after he scattered everybody, and there was a lot of unconsciousness around him. He took on the heaviest cases. And he called me in, and I'm on the road in White's at the foundation, living pretty clean. No drugs, no drinking, and doing the same thing I was doing from the beginning. And he had a job for me to come in here, and he was going to reinstate a lot of the original space and increase it in me too. But I was here for a few years and making dinners every night for these gangs of people, and a lot of it was incredible disrespects. I was wore out and hurt. And I said, Amen, I feel like I'm in a straitjacket here, because I could feel His will and I wasn't going to go against it, that He wanted me here. And he said, well, you shouldn't ever feel like that, Gary. He said, go take a walk. And he just sent me out. You know, and that's least case. That was out front relationship. On the inside, even more so. I mean, I watched it here, you know. Things would be revealed to individuals, and they weren't quite ready for it. And he would turn it around and make them feel like whatever you want is cool, and send them on their way. No, opposite. And the thing about it is, we got to want the truth. We got to want to be in the image of our Father, in the image of Jesus Christ. And there isn't any other way. And as far as giving up our lives in the world, meaning the attachments to the things of the world that have been holding us down, you got to want it. You know, it's not being coerced. Although, I did hear him say, the circumstances in your life can change your will to, in a sense, you were coerced. And he laughed.